All right. Can we all hear me now? All right. Can you all see my face? Perfect. Okay. So we wait 1 minute for people to join us so that we can start. Please type your questions. There's nobody that is going to be on mute to talk. If you have any question as I'm talking, just type your questions. So I'm going to share my screen now. I believe that we can see my screen. Can we see my screen? All right. So I want to welcome everybody to this webinar. And like I said, my name is Adeboye Folowosele. Like some of you know me. So I'm a senior data analyst, and I'm delivering this webinar on January 19, 2025. So this is the agenda for this meeting. So firstly, we'll talk about what the introduction to data analysis. We talk about the trends in data analysis. Then we talk about, I'm going to be talking about the emerging tools and technologies. Then after that, I will talk about the role of AI and machine learning in data analysis. I will talk about the data-driven decision making, talk about the opportunity and career pathways in data analysis. And lastly, we have the conclusion and the future outlook of data analysis. Then I will throw the floor open, and I believe you can be typing your questions and put it down. There are moderators in the group that will gather your questions, and so in case there are similar questions, they will send me they will not send me similar questions, they will send it to me and I will answer it. So I'm going to leave 15 minutes for those questions. So I'm going to start now. Now I'm doing this webinar. The purpose of this webinar is because of some of us that we are moving into the career part of data analysis. You need to know what data analysis is. You need to know all the current trends in data analysis. And some of you that have been seeing my adverts, you will see that I always say that every industry is using a data analyst, or every industry needs a data analyst, because every industry deals with data. Every industry, they deal with data. So this is like an introduction. Now, if you look at so what is data analysis? And from what I wrote here, the first thing about data analysis is you have to collect data, inspect the data, clean the data. And these are some of the things I'm going to be teaching you during this meeting. I mean, during this class, when we are going to be having the lecture that will be starting tomorrow. So it involves data collection, data inspecting, data cleaning, data transforming, and modeling of data to discover useful information and also draw conclusion and support decision making. Now, what do I mean by this? For example, Facebook has your data. So if they want to know how many people log in onto Facebook today, all they need to do is to extract the data, and they can clean the data if it has some duplicate figures, if it has some missing values and the likes. So that is what it means by collection of data, cleaning of data, and transforming of data. So what is the importance of data analysis to in our days? Now, the importance of data analysis is that it helps to identify the trends, the patterns, and the insights that drive strategy and decision making. What do I mean by this? By trends, patterns, and insights. For example, now, just like I mentioned Facebook the other time, those of you that you are on X, if Elon Musk wants to know the patterns of of people that have tweeted today. What are those things they have tweeted today? For example, Man U lost today. So all he needs to do is to collect the data of the tweets and look at the pattern of how many people tweeted on Man U today. Like yesterday, everybody laughed at Arsenal. How many people tweeted on Arsenal? So that will give him more insight to what people are tweeting and what people are tweeting about. I know that Donald Trump is going to be very soon installed as the American president. So if he wants to know how many people have tweeted on Donald Trump, all he needs to do is to collect the data on Twitter and look at the trends and pattern. So that's why I said every business needs a data analyst. And for example, if you are working in a school, in a finance company, in a bank and stuff like that, they want to know the trends and pattern of how students are coming to school. They want to know the trends and pattern of how people are opening accounts. So if a data analyst is working in a bank, they want to know, okay, how many people opened bank accounts in the last 6 months, and how many people are still using their accounts. So that will give them insights to how they can make decisions, and it will enable evidence-based decision and also predictive analysis for future planning. So what are the key components of data analysis? Now, I've used our day-to-day activities for you to explain that every company needs a data analyst. So what are the key components of data analysis? Number one is the gathering of the data. So for example, the training that we want to do now, we have gathered data. So number two is the data cleaning. So we ensure that we handle missing values, handle duplicates and errors. And if we want to interpret the data that we have collected, I mean, for those of you that have registered, so we analyze the data. If I want to know how many people registered from Nigeria, how many people registered from the United Kingdom, all I need to do is to tell the data analyst of this company that, can you give me an insight of how many people registered from different countries? I need the numbers. And that is what CEOs does. They just say, oh, I need the numbers of those people that register from different countries. Those are the work of a data analyst. So then reporting and visualization. So communicating findings through charts, graphs, and dashboards. So this is just like a pure introduction to data analysis. I've brought this down to our level, and no matter where you are working, they will collect your data. And for chief executive officers to make some decisions, they need data analysis, they need insights, they need to know the trends and patterns before they could make some certain decisions. So now, what are the current trends in the data analysis? Now, number one is the data visualization. Now, for data visualization, some of the visualization tools is Tableau, Power BI, which allow for interactive. You can see what I just put there. That's an example of a dashboard, which allows for interactive and dynamic insights, making complex data easier to interpret and communicate. I'm going to be part of what we will be teaching you is Power BI. So maybe we are going to introduce Tableau later. So data storytelling also is becoming more critical for effective conveying findings to stakeholders. So this is an example of a dashboard, and I just pick it online. It's not that of any company. I just pick it online. This is an example of a dashboard. And if you are attending a Power BI class, we are going to be developing something like this at the end of that class. If you are attending, we are going to be doing different dashboards, and I hope you find it useful. So number one thing in the current trends in data analysis is data visualization. Then number two is big data analytics. So for big data analytics, we see growing volume, variety, and velocity of data that are driving the need for more sophisticated data, which is like a real-time data processing and analytics, which has become essential for business to remain competitive. I saw some of you that you are raising up your hand. Kindly type your questions in the comment chat, please. Some moderators are already in the comment chat to pick your question. I will answer. Now, the picture you are looking at is a analytics of YouTube. Now, of a YouTube that I picked online. Now, most of the social media, the big social media applications that we have now, they are making use of big data analytics. And you can test it even yourself. If you change probably your Instagram, your TikTok to your Facebook to a professional dashboard, or your X to a professional dashboard, you will be able to view your analysis. You'll be able to view how many people view your channel. This is YouTube. How many people subscribe to your channel, and you can look at the dates, and you can also look at your estimated revenue. Now I have Twitter here. You'll be able to know how many people you are engaged with, the total impressions that you have, the total likes. This is an example of a big data analytics. So you look at those dates and you look at the trends. You look at, okay, so dates I engage more with people. On this day I didn't engage more, I didn't have more replies. Oh, there was this day I had a lot of mentions. So some of these social media have real-time data analytics in which you can always look at your phone. Please, we don't need to raise up your hand. I've already muted everybody. Just type your question in the comment section. I will answer after I'm done. So now let's move on. Now, another current trend is the predictive analytics. So what predictive analysis does is to make use of historical data to predict future trends and behaviors. So common industries that use this are such as finance, healthcare, marketing, and the likes. And let me give an example. So if an healthcare want to know how many people are going to be affected by a disease, maybe probably in the next 5 years, all they need to do is to look at the last 5 years and look at how many people were affected by that disease. And through the use of machine learning, they can use to predict it and predict the future trend. Also, even in finance, even in banks use it. And if they want to know how many people are going to open accounts in the next 2 years, all they need to do is to look at the previous 5 years data and use it to predict. And that's why we have sales and revenue forecasting, customer analytics, marketing analytics, risk analytics, operational analytics, HR analytics, financial analytics, supply chain optimization. Then another one, this is not very common, but is also an emerging trend in data analysis, cloud computing, which has to do with AWS, Microsoft Azure, and the likes. So this has to facilitate collaboration with real-time data processing for remote teams. For example, now the teams that I'm using now is what I the themes that I'm using now is part of cloud computing, and that is why you can be able to hear me. So um, these are some of the tools that are emergence in data analysis, AI and machine learning. So the use of algorithm and models to predict human cognition in the analysis of data. And also we have natural processing language. Natural processing language has to do with sentiment analysis, in which you can know the whether people that are you can analyze feedbacks, you can analyze tweets and the likes. Then also automated data analysis, which has to do with automated machine learning, edge computing, which processes data closer to the source, such as the IoT devices. Now, these are some of the data-driven decision making, which are importance of data-driven culture. Organizations that adopt a data-driven approach are better equipped to make objective and informed decisions. So when an organization makes use of data-driven culture, that is, it makes use of a data analysis, it helps to minimize guesswork and also provides clear insights and reduce risk. So we have some real world applications, such as analyzing customer data to optimize campaign, which is marketing, finance. All these people, healthcare, just like I've said, they make use of data analysis to make decision. So data analysts help to interpret raw data and provide insights, actionable insight that guide decision making at all levels of the organization, with the use of visualization tools to communicate insights clearly to stakeholders. So what are the future of data analysis? So the future of data analysis, we are going to have increased automation, is already happening. Increased automation in data gathering, data cleaning and processing tasks, leaving analysts to focus on interpreting insights. Then we are going to have more integrated of AI and data analysis. And also, there's going to be focus on ethics and privacy. And just like in the UK, we have GDPR, which is General Data Protection Regulation. So you cannot share sensitive data. So there has to be transparency, compliance, and security. And also the role of data analysis in the future will evolve with a growing need for advanced skills in AI, machine learning, and data engineering. So also that is why analysts, we need to adopt only analyzing data and also interpreting it. So this is very important for us. So what are the opportunities and career pathways in data analysis? So according to the job markets, data analysis job market is expected to grow by 23% over the next decade, which is over the next 10 years. So what are the career paths? We have entry levels, which are data analysts. What are the core responsibilities? Data collection, data cleaning, processing, and basic analysis. And these are some of the required skills for you to be a data analyst. You need to have Excel knowledge, which we are going to be doing during this training. You need to have SQL knowledge, which is structured query language. You need to be able to use some data visualization tools such as Tableau, Power BI, and the likes. And for career progression, you can, after you have worked for a while as a data analyst, you become a senior data analyst. Then we have junior data scientists, and the core responsibility is to assist in development of machine learning models, data pre-processing, and statistical analysis. And what are the required skills? Python, R, and basic knowledge of machine learning algorithms. And the career progression is transiting into a data scientist or machine learning engineer. Then we have business intelligence analysts, in which their course responsibility is to translate business needs into data solutions, create reports and dashboard, monitor KPIs, Required skills involve SQL, advanced Excel, BI tools such as Power BI and Tableau. And in career progression, you can progress as a BI manager or data scientist. Then for data scientists is to design and implement machine learning model, conduct deep statistical analysis and predict trends. Required skills include Python, R, SQL, machine learning libraries, and you can proceed as a senior data analyst, data science managers, and the likes. So these are for senior level roles. So you can become a data science manager and you can become chief data officer. Every big company has all of these roles, either the lower level roles, the middle level roles, and the senior level roles. So depending on your skills. So what are the skills you need to in advancing as a data in your data analyst career? First of all is the technical skills. For programming language, Python, we are going to be taking Python. R, for now we are not taking R, but in the future we might take it. SQL, Java, we are taking SQL, Java or Scala. We might take that later in this training, but not in this cohort. So for data tools, you need Excel, Power BI. We are doing Excel and Power BI. Tableau, Google Analytics, Apache Spark, and Adobe. All those ones are advanced. And if you still want to learn them, that will be later. Then you need machine learning understanding of machine learning algorithms, deep learning, and data modeling techniques. But little by little makes a mighty ocean. You have to start from somewhere. So you can't say that I want to learn everything at once, especially when you don't have a tech background. So another skills that is needed is business and communication skills. This one is very, very important because when you make analysis, you need to be able to interpret your analysis. For example, if you do an analysis in Power BI and you notice that in the last 1 year, if you are working for a drug company and you notice that in the last 1 year, the in the last 1 year, the sales for paracetamol has dropped. And so you should be able to explain why the sales of paracetamol has dropped. And you should be able to link many things to it. Maybe because you should be able to, it's not speculation now. You should be able to look at the data and be able to look at why has the paracetamol, why are the sales of paracetamol, why has it dropped? Is it due to the weather? So it has to be, it doesn't have to, it must not be by speculation. It has to be by what you have done, the analysis that you have done, and you should be able to prove it. So that is why you need good business and communication skills. You need strong presentation and communication skills to report your findings to non-stakeholders. This one is very, very important because non-stakeholders, they don't understand what you mean. They don't understand some technical terms. For example, if I was presenting one of my data to a non-stakeholder in my former job, and I was mentioning SQL, and after the meeting, towards the end of the meeting, the Ujan just asked me, please, what's the meaning of SQL? So that was when I came down to a level and say, okay, I'm sorry. So you have to be able to present it to non-technical stakeholders. So I had to explain to the woman and said, okay, SQL, that structured query language, is a tool that we use to extract data from the data warehouse. So I'm sorry that you do not understand it. So I have to apologize to her. So you need a strong presentation and communication skills to present and report your findings to non-technical stakeholders. Then project management experience for handling data-driven project end-to-end. So this requires you to be, that is why the soft skills comes in. You need analytic mindsets, giving attention to details. This one is very, very important. Most of us, we don't give attention to details. Then a problem-solving ability. You need to have that adaptation level to be able to solve problem. and also ability to work collaboratively in cross-functional teams, and adapting in learning new tools and technology. These things are very, very important, because you will get to some company and they will tell you that, oh, we don't use Power BI, we use Tableau. And so you should be adaptable. You will not tell them that, oh, I don't know Tableau, and you are showing attitude like you don't want to learn it. So as I am like this, I'm still learning, and I still keep learning. So learning does not stop. You need all these skills to advance your career in data analysis. So how do you get started? Number one, you start with education. I know some of you don't have degree in computer science. I have degree in computer science. But some of you are not privileged to have degree in computer science. Some of you have masters in data science, which is good. Some of you are not privileged. Some of you have degree in statistics, maths, or related field, and you are not privileged. So in case you are not privileged, so part of the education is what we are going to be doing, taking you these online courses in certification in data analysis, and some of the tools that we are going to teach you. Then also hands-on experience. And that was why, if you follow me on WhatsApp, I said I'm going to give you different assignments before I can give you any certification. You should be able to prove to me that you can do the analysis yourself, and you did not even give it to somebody else. Then this will help you to build a portfolio of projects showcasing your ability to analyze real-world data. Then it's also important that you connect to data-related professionals in LinkedIn and the likes, attend webinars, conferences, just like this webinar now. Attend them. Knowledge is power, like they used to say. So, I know some of you are raising up your hand and asking questions. So, and that's why I try to be a bit fast with the webinar. And so, these are some of the announcements that is very, very important for some of you that you have not read it on the WhatsApp group. The virtual training is free, but to collect certificates is £10, but it is optional. And also, the Microsoft Teams links will be dropped 24 to 48 hours before each classes. I should have dropped that of Microsoft Excel today, but I don't want people to mix it up with the webinar, and that is why I have not dropped it. So it was intentional that I didn't drop it. So after this webinar, I'm going to drop the team link for Excel tomorrow, which is starting by 7 p.m. UK time tomorrow. Some of you did not know UK time is different from Nigeria time at the moment. So that is why I said 7 p.m. GMT. And I know some people are also joining from other countries. So if you don't know, if you are not sure of the time, just Google the time. What's the difference between my time and UK at the moment? Google is your friend. If you are going to be a good data analyst, you need Google. And that's one of those things that I'm going to be teaching you in the next 8 weeks. You need to know how to use Google very well. Google is your friend. Google can give you as many answers as possible. So just Google it. What's the difference between my time, no matter where you are? What's the difference between my time and UK? And it will tell you. So some of these private DMs that you give me, Google can give you answers to it. Are you getting me? All right. So my YouTube channel, I'm going to paste it on the WhatsApp, on this chat box, so that you can subscribe in case you miss the class. So the reason why I said all of you should put down your names, your full names. This is very important, especially when you want to join class starting from tomorrow. Kindly pull down your full names, because the team subscription that I did will take attendance as soon as you log in. And so that is what makes me to know the people that came for class. So in case you miss the class, that is when you go and watch on the YouTube channel, and you will inform your class captain. For people that have joined the WhatsApp group a long time, I'll introduce the class captain to you, but after this class, I will introduce them again so that you can chat them up. You don't need to chat me up that I've watched it on YouTube. Just chat them up. They will note down your name and they will contact me. I'm a very busy person. So no private DM, please. It's very important. So the Microsoft Excel class starts tomorrow, 7 o'clock GMT. If you don't know what GMT is, just Google it. Greenwich Meridian Time. Like I said, just Google it. So it's going to be every Monday. Power BI starts the following day. That's January 21, 7 o'clock GMT every Tuesdays. And Python class starts the following day after Power BI, which is January 22nd, 7 o'clock GMT every Wednesday. So for SQL class, starts January 26, 2025, 7 o'clock GMT every Sunday for 8 weeks. Now, I understand that some of you are having challenge in installing some of these applications, especially for SQL. So for SQL, the first class will be introduction to SQL, understanding database, and deliberately I am going to uninstall my SQL and install it so that you can watch how you can install it. So if you are having any challenge, you don't need to private chat me again. I noticed that most of you are having challenge in installing those things I said you should install, especially for SQL. And also for the Python class, I will uninstall the Anaconda on my system and teach you how to install Anaconda and install it. If you're having problem with Power BI, put it in the chat box so that if just in case, I can start with that also on Tuesday. So for Microsoft Excel, you should not have problem with Office 365. Just download it. And if it requires payment, make the payment so that you can be learning. Now, you need these tools. You need a laptop. You need a good internet access. All these are very, very important. You need a laptop. You need an internet access. When you don't practice what I've taught you, then obviously I don't know how you want to get it. So I'm going to teach you very well, but it's up to you to practice it very well. So all this week is going to be more of introduction, and it's going to be more of questions on if you have any challenge with installing some of those things. But I will encourage you first to follow me as I install it. Then you should not have any challenge in installing it. When you follow me and you can watch it on the camera that I'm installing, then you should not have any challenge in the installation. So this is the website. I'm closing the website by 11:59 today. In case you have not registered, it's closing today. After tomorrow, nobody will be able to register again. So there will always be other opportunity. Maybe after 3 months, when we want to do another cohort, then you can join the class. And without the website registration, like I said on the WhatsApp group, I'm sorry, I don't recognize you. So these are some of my social media handles for you to follow, and I will encourage you to follow it. My X page, my Instagram page. So in conclusion, just like I have explained to us, data analysis is central to driving business innovation, and the future of data analysis holds exciting opportunities. So it is important to stay informed about new tools, technologies, and ethical considerations. So thank you very much. And now I'm opening the floor for questions and answers. So I'm going to open the floor for questions and answers now. So some of us have asked a lot of questions on the chat box. Okay. Okay, the question that some of you were asking was you did not see what I was presenting. Oh, I'm sorry about that. Okay, some questions have been answered among various ways of method. Which one is the best? Okay. Yeah, somebody asked, this is a very good question. Excel, PowerPoint, um, Python, or the rest. That which one is the best? Okay. There is no best anywhere. All these tools, Excel, PowerPoint, and Python, they are all data analysis tools. So it depends on what the company wants. It depends on what the company wants to share. It depends on what. Don't worry, for some of you that were not able to see my screen, in the last 10 minutes, I will display the PowerPoint again so that you can see my screen. So what it depends on what the company that you apply to, what they are using. But to start with, as a basic tool, you need to know Excel first, because Excel is like the basics. Power BI was built on the basics of Excel. So when you are able to use Excel very well, then you should be able to use Power BI, because you will understand the logic behind Power BI very well. Now, for Python, Python is a programming language that is also used for data analysis. So, like I said, there is no best anywhere. But when you are talking about maybe in terms of you want a good dashboard, then you have to go for tools like Tableau or Power BI. But when it comes to statistical analysis and the likes, then you go for programming language like Python and R. And like I said, it depends on the company that you are working, the kind of tool that they use, whether it is Power BI or it is Python. So let me look at, okay, some of you are having problem with activating Excel, that it is failed. That shouldn't be a problem. I'm going to present the screen again. I saw that some of you cannot see the screen. I don't know why it happened like that. I don't know why it happened like that, why some of you could not see the screen. So I'm going to present the screen again just for some of you to see what I presented and what I talked about. I don't know why it was like that. So can you comment now if you were able to see, if you can see the screen now? Sorry, I won't be able to share the PowerPoint, please. It's privacy. So I won't be able to share the PowerPoint. Sorry about that, please. It's privacy. I won't be able to share the PowerPoint. So, but most importantly is for you to follow me and follow what I've just discussed. That's the most important thing, is for you to follow me and follow what I've just discussed. For those who don't have laptop, can we make use of the phone? No, you can't make use of the phone, please. You can't make use of the phone. You can only make use of a laptop. You can't make use of the phone. I couldn't sign in on Power BI. You should download Power BI desktop. You can download Power BI desktop. It's not compulsory that the Excel should be 365. It could be 2019 Excel. I don't know about tablets, but tablets will not work. So let me quickly review what I did in the Power BI and in the PowerPoint for some of you that were not able to see the screen. But the screen was showing me that it was sharing the screen here. So I don't know what happened, especially for those diagrams that I showed you. So this is the dashboard that I was explaining in Power BI. Either you use Power BI or Excel. And this was what I was explaining about YouTube. That is, it will show you the views, the watch time, the subscribers, the estimated revenue. And this is big data analysis. This is a Twitter. This is a Twitter page of somebody that I picked on Google. So this for big analytics now. It will show you the date that um, you have impression, you have reposts. So for example, if you are verified on X, if you go to your analytics, it's part of data analysis. So that is why I was telling you that every company uses uses a data analyst. So it was a data analyst that built it for them. You have your dashboard. So if you have turned your Instagram page, I know people use Instagram a lot, to a professional page, you will also see the analysis. Okay, how many friends you have, you see how many people that have viewed your videos. All these are to inform you of whether you, so that you can do better, and okay, how did I perform today? How can I do better? And that is what data analysis is all about. Then these are predictive analysis. I think those pictures are very good. I'm sorry I will not be able to share the PowerPoint for ethics sake. So you can just, I've explained all of these and I've talked about these roles, which are data analyst, junior data scientist, entry roles, data science manager, chief data officer, then the key skills that are needed, the programming language, machine learning, Power BI, Tableau, then the soft skills that are needed for you to succeed in the data analyst career. Then also, how do you get started? I've talked about this. um if you don't, I'm not, you should not, it's not compulsory you go back. You don't even need to go and do your degree in computer science or statistics. And this is why the online courses and certifications that I'm doing at the moment is very important. So it's part of education. Then hands-on experience. I've told you that I'm going to give you different data sets for you to work upon and for you to practice. So I'm going to teach you very well, but it's up to you to lay your hands on practice and practice properly as well. You need to be able to practice properly on yourself, with yourself. And for classes, I'm going to teach for 30 minutes, and 30 minutes will be for questions, because I know that people are going to have questions. So I'm going to teach for 30 minutes, and 30 minutes will be for questions. And it's going to be majorly practicals. So I'm going to open the applications. We'll do the practical. Then probably if you are practicing it, you want to practice it on your system and you're experiencing any challenge within those 30 minutes, we could easily help you solve it. And these are the announcements. These are my social media handles. And this is the conclusion. Thank you. So I believe we can see the screen now. I'll go back to those questions. I'm coming. I'll come back to the comment section now. So I just pasted some of my social media handles for all of you to see. So we still have some time. Now, thank you very much for our moderators. They have been able to gather the questions one by one. Yes. So the first question, I have answered it, that among various methods, which one is the best? I've answered that. I can't say that anyone in the best is the best. So number 2 here, we have, can the instructor please teach us how to display our project on GitHub and how to navigate the platforms? This person is running more than even some people don't understand what GitHub is. Some people don't understand it. I think when we get to that bridge, you will solve it. If you don't have good portfolios, if you don't have good projects, then there is no how you can put one project on GitHub. So you need to have, there's no problem of showing you how to navigate GitHub. I can do that. But let's start with the basics first. Let's start with the basics. So so there's no problem with putting projects on GitHub. I can put that for us, but that will be after the end of the 8 weeks. So let's start with the basics first, because some people here don't even understand what GitHub is. Then somebody asked, each class will last for how long? I have just answered that. 1 hour, 30 minutes for lecture and 30 minutes for questions. Then please give the date for all the classes, please back. I'm sure that this person should be on WhatsApp, on the WhatsApp group. I just gave you all the dates. Excel every Monday, 7 p.m. GMT UK time. Power BI Tuesday, 7 p.m. UK time. Python every Wednesday, 7 p.m. UK time. And on Sunday, SQL, 7 p.m. UK time. So going into tech as a rookie, what should be the first step, sir? Now, the first step is for you to be, you really want it, that you really want to learn. That is the first step. You should be able to look at it that, yes, I really want to learn. So without that, you cannot learn. So the first step is for you to actually make up your mind that I want to learn. That is the first step. And when you are able to make up your mind that you want to learn, when you have that thing in your mind that you want to learn, that yes, I want to learn, then other things will follow. Taking of these courses. So nobody will be dragging you that, yes, I want to practice. On your own, you will practice, because it is nobody dragged you into tech. Nobody says you should come and do it. Nobody forced you that you should come and become a tech person. So you should want it yourself. It should be a passion that you want to do. When something is your passion, then nobody will force you to do. Nobody will force you to learn it. Nobody will force you to practice. So those times that, I'm not saying watching film is bad. I watch film too. Those times that you wanted to watch film, you feel like, oh, because it's my passion, I've not gotten this in, let me go and take it again and let me go and learn. So that's the first thing. Passion to learn is very important. Without the passion, you will not learn anything, because most of it, when I teach you, you still need to go back and understand it. Even go and ask any tech person, when you have not used a tool for some time, you tend to forget. That's what we call gap in knowledge. So, but when you are using a tool consistently, it becomes part and parcel of you. There was a time I worked in a place and they were not using a tool. So when I changed job and I was working in another place, they were using that tool. So for the first 1 month, I had to blend, because I was not using that tool consistently for close to a year before, even though I know the tool. So that is how gap in knowledge can affect you. So you have to be using the tool consistently. So that the next question is, do I need a knowledge on Excel before proceeding to Power BI? Because I think they are interwoven. I just gave that as basics. It's not compulsory. They are interwoven. But Power BI was majorly, it was like an advanced Excel. So that is why I usually encourage people to do Excel first before proceeding to Power BI. Do Excel first, then proceed to Power BI. So that makes it easy for you. It's just like somebody that is, you just finished primary school and you jump to secondary school and you now jump to SS1. That person is going to have challenge. Do you understand? Because there are some things they will teach you in your junior secondary school, GSS1 to GS3, that from SS1 to SS3, and you just jump to SS1, you are going to have problems, especially with your mathematics and English. So that's why I don't like people to jump steps. Go first for Excel, and when you go first for Excel, then you can now sit down to learn Power BI, and it will make it much more easy for you. Then can I join 2 classes? Yes, you can even join the O4. It depends on you. It depends on your capacity. Okay, I use a MacBook and I can't install Power BI. Yes. However, you can install Power BI by first of all installing Parallel Desktop on your MacBook. Just like I said, Google is your friend. I know most people use Windows. I have Windows laptop. I have MacBook laptop. So, and I can use Power BI on my MacBook. All I need to do is to install Parallel Desktop. But I am going to be teaching with Windows. And you can also install Python on MacBook using the Parallel Desktop. The Parallel Desktop is you are going to install Windows on MacBook. So if you are having that challenge if you are using MacBook, if anybody here is using MacBook and you want to install Power BI or Python, see your class captain. Don't chat me. Chat your class captain. I will give you a video to go and watch so that you will be able to install Power BI on it. Then can somebody get the video recording? Yes. Now the video recording will be on my YouTube channel within 24 to 48 hours. So after each classes as well, what we just did now, the webinar that we just did now, the video will be on my YouTube channel. The video will be on my YouTube channel within 24 to 48 hours. So you can rewatch it again. And for each classes as well, immediately after each classes, between 24 to 48 hours of each class, after the recording of each class, the video will be on my YouTube channel, so you can go and rewatch. So what is the laptop specification? I can't give you any specification on my head now, but I will give you, if you're on the WhatsApp group, I will give some laptop specifications. We have just 9 more minutes, so I'm going to be skipping some questions. Thank you, coach, for this training. Please, after training, will you be able to help with interview preparation? So that is for consultancy. You can see me after if you want that, after the training, you can have that. Is there any opportunity for internship, CV support, and referencing? I will not say that on here. Just chat me up if you need that later. No mail will be received after registration. Yes, no mail was received because it was not automated. Sorry about that. But as long as you can see that message, then that means you have registered. So I know that some of you registered twice. I saw the duplicates. So that is part of data cleaning. That's what our data analysts in the company will help us to do. So we help us to clean the data, remove duplicates. So that is part of what we are going to talk about. Then please, for beginners like me, I'm a bit confused. Can you help brochures to meet us up that are already into computer science? Yes, for beginners. That's why I said you start with Microsoft Excel first. You first of all start with Microsoft Excel. That's why I said that. You start with Microsoft Excel first. Then for those of us that are registered, some of us are doubting whether it went in or not because we didn't receive acknowledgement email. You don't need to receive acknowledgement email as long as you click the button for register and you saw, okay, you will receive an email, then you have actually registered. I know that's why some of you registered twice. That is why we had duplicates in the data that we receive. So will there be room for mentorship or internship after the program? Like I said, this is a consultancy one as well. So anybody that asks that question, you can private chat me on that. I'm not going to answer that on the air. So do we still have any more questions? For those of us registered, some of us are doubting whether it went okay. I've done that. My challenge is, yes, I've said people are having challenge with SQL, and I've said during the first class, I will install it. So you don't need to disturb me again. I will install the SQL for everybody. You will see it. I will share my screen. So the reason why I didn't know some of you are not able to see my screen was because I can see that I'm sharing the screen. But for class, I can ask you that this is a webinar, it's not a class. I can ask you, can you see my screen? So, and that's why it was like that. So I apologize for that. And I've already shared I've already opened the Power BI for you to see. So please, the registration, are we supposed to register once? No, now that's why you can tick all the 4 courses. If you tick all the 4 courses, that means you have registered for the 4 courses. I think I've answered some questions. How many classes can we join at a go? It depends on you. Please confirm if a class at a go is advisable for this cohort. Like I said, it depends on you. If you can do all the classes, then it depends on you. Who is the class captain? I will present all the class captain again tonight. So go and watch on WhatsApp. Okay, I tried installing Python, but I got a Spider app. You can use Spider, but for this class, for Python class, I am going to be using Jupyter for the Python class, but you can use Python. Then I tried installing SQL, but it says application requires Visual Studio. Don't worry, all those of you that you're having challenge with installing SQL, I have said it. I will install it for you in the class on Sunday. So you don't need to ask again. So I'm going to skip any question on SQL. The class captains are there. Either you are in the UK, either you are in Nigeria, either you are in Canada. The class captain are for everybody. Just chat them up on WhatsApp. I have experience using Excel with SPSS. Yeah, it depends on you. You might decide not to. You might decide to go for another course. You might decide to. For consultancy, should we chat you now, or it depends on you. If you are chatting me for consultancy, you can chat me for consultancy, but don't chat me on I want to install SQL. I have said I will install it for you during the class. So do I need to sign in? Yes, you need to sign in. Just create your own. Now, for Power BI desktop, you don't need to sign in. But somebody is saying I could not download Power BI desktop. There's no problem. For Power BI class, I will also download. I will show you how to download Power BI desktop, how to install it, and how to get started with it. So that means for this week, it's going to be all about installation. So I will not answer any question on that again. The registration link is there. I will not answer any question. Yeah, Jupyter Notebook. Yes, it's Jupyter Notebook. You can use 365. All trainings will be recorded on YouTube. And even this webinar, anybody that missed it, in the next 24 hours, within 24 hours, is going to be on my YouTube channel. And I've pasted my YouTube. Follow me on all the social media. Subscribe to my channel. So I think I have answered most of our questions, and I think, okay, can we get a guide steps for the apps we need to download? A kind course outline for each course and days for classes. I'm not going to give I'm not going to give like an outline for each courses, but that is why you should attend the first class, because for the first class, I'm going to outline how each week is going to look like, but I'm not going to send it to anybody. So for the first link, like tomorrow now, I'm going to outline everything we are going to be doing week by week. I'm going to outline it. And the guide step for apps we need to download, I will outline it in the first class too. I've sent it to the WhatsApp, but some of you did not get it. So I will outline it there. So I want us to close by 9 p.m. on dots. So we still have 2 minutes. Does the certification cover the whole course? Yes, £10 each. If you do the 4 courses, that's £40 for the certificate. But it is optional. You might not need the certificate. It's optional. It's not compulsory. The certificate is optional. It's not compulsory. I want to appreciate everybody that has joined. I understand that it's difficult to get people. It's difficult to It's difficult for you to have come to sacrifice your time and join this webinar. And I believe that I've been able to answer your questions, and I've been able to see you've been able to see the need why you should do some of those courses. So thank you very, very much. And for if you don't finish, now let me take note of certificate very well. If you don't attend class and if you are not registered with me, I will not give you any certificates. I don't need the £10. I don't need your £10. So if you don't finish the class and you don't attend this, if you don't attend class and you don't do the assignments I give to you after the trainings, after the virtual training, after the 8 weeks, I'm not going to give you the certificate. I'm sorry, I don't know you. So for you to qualify to be given certificates, you have to attend class. You have to even if you miss the class, you have to watch it on YouTube and inform your class captain that, oh, sorry, I missed the class. I've watched it on YouTube. And you have to do the assignment and submit. So I'll give you the email to submit the assignment to when the time comes. Then that is when I can give you the certificates. So I'm not going to give a whitewash certificate of which I don't know. So that's why I said, if you are not registered, I'm sorry, I don't know you. So 30 minutes for class, 30 minutes for question and answer for lectures. So assignments, I'll be giving you little assignments per week, but there will be a big assignment after the training. So it's time up now, and I like to keep to time. So thank you very much. Thank you for coming. God bless you. Thank you. Bye for now. So you can leave the meeting now. Thank you.